Hi everybody. I found this and I thought everybody should see it. A couple days old. I know you've probably seen it, but Telehub Civilian Intelligence Agency. Exposed UN vehicles caught trying to hide logo from public view while traveling inside the United States. Um, I don't have the luxury of seeing these style of vehicles, but whenever there's a weird vehicle out and about, uh, I and other neighbors do kind of try to watch as much as possible. Nowadays, you can't do too much because of all the cops blowing people's heads off and shit for different things. So you can't really do it much. But basically, if you see something weird like this, you know, definitely from a distance or something, put it on your phone and try to match it up and everything. I don't even know what this is. If this is like primer paint or whatever, this looks like it was masking tape painted over. Um, but over the last 3 months, there have been dozens of suspicious sightings of military and United Nations equipment being moved throughout the country, coupled with numerous realistic military training exercises to sharpen domestic focus. This is all went surrounding Jade Helm, which has sparked a plethora of theories and strong opinions on what is actually going to happen. 1 second, folks. Now, footage taken in northern Louisiana is causing even more of a stir after it showed United Nations vehicles traveling down a freeway, logos intentionally covered with brown paper. Okay, so that's what it was. Brown paper. Wasn't masking tape or anything else. Video footage shows a UN truck with brown paper partially peeled off, likely due to wind. The United Nations vehicle has still been covered, has its cover on as it travels down the highway. Let's see what this is about.
This is Dabu7.
I don't
Want to
care.
share with you footage.
Alright, anywho. Alright, they're not gonna. I already went through it. They don't show the actual footage. See? They don't show the actual footage. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, I was getting ready to actually stop it. Okay, here's the footage.
See that?
Alright, and that's interesting that they actually have a medical vehicle with them. So here we go. I will go back. And there is the UN one and a medical vehicle. And it driving off. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, if I know my law and everything, nobody can have logos and stuff covered up on vehicles. So what I would do is I would actually be a total asshole and I would call a highway patrol or 911, whatever, and say, hey man, there's a vehicle going down the road XYZ up ahead. It's got a paper bag type covering over a logo, and I'm smelling what smells like a gas leak or some kind of really strong, XYZ, something that would make them have to stop the vehicle and say, hey, I just want to make sure that the vehicle isn't leaking anything, but everybody's been complaining and, this. And then, definitely get on them about that. Well, the problem is you do that, you're probably going to end up dead. But in a republic, you would definitely be named a hero. And basically, this has to do with if Americans are worried about the threat of Jade Helm, what's really going on, we'll probably never know. Oh, let's face it, we'll know in a couple months, if anything. But basically, folks, this is the actual video, and everyone is actually very concerned. This is actually Louisiana, northern Louisiana, actually. So if the United Nations has anything going on, we can add Louisiana to the rank of a Jade Helm state, I believe. Oh, these guys are probably passing through. Um, I don't really know what was going on one way or another. But it's very interesting, folks, that they're covering up their logos for some reason. If they're not here to do us harm, if they're not here to do anything wrong, why are they covering their logos? Um, especially if they're just moving medical supplies, like base to base, they shouldn't even care. Honest to God, they shouldn't even care. Um, I don't really think anything of it. If I did see one of these vehicles, though, I bet you I would probably get um, some kind of law enforcement to stop it and say, "Hey, man, we stopped at this light or at this underpass, and you smelled this stuff coming off it. I think it maybe has a diesel leak or something. Can you please tag and then read the license plate or whatever it has, and then stop there and say, hey, yeah, officer, I was the one that called. I was coming down the road and we smelled diesel or something, and maybe this guy was all over the road. I would just say it up as it is, and I'd say we were worried that maybe the leak was actually hurting the drivers and the passengers inside. So I wanted to make sure these guys are okay, and they had their logo covered. So I don't even know who these guys are. Um, I tried to contact them through the window and say, hey, man, I smell diesel fuel or something, some kind of a leak or a weird, like a sugar burn or something, make up anything. And say, they were non responsive. They were a bit agitated, a bit aggressive. So I went on my way. I called you guys. You guys are Lord and Saviors now. Thank you for showing up. I just want to make sure that these guys aren't intoxicated or, in other words, uh, hurt by whatever this was that we smelled. Thank you. Have the, 2, 3, 4 patrol officers come down, let them get out their IDs and everything else, put them on record. Bada bing, bada boom. I know you can't legally do this. You would be in shitloads of trouble real quick if you did. But if I saw this, oh, you bet your ass I'd tag it. I'd snap a photo of it. I would have it for the police. I would do everything like, oh, hey, what is this doing here? And then you bet your ass, as soon as I stop, I'd be looking. Oh, that's UN shit. Blah 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 blah. Fuck you. I don't care. Yeah, I'd be in trouble. Oh, would I be in trouble?